Oh, great. Cheryl, it looks like we are live. Good morning. It is Wednesday, and today's topic for our COVID-19 series is vision boards. I am your host, Juliette Abdel, President and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce, and I am delighted to have with me Cheryl Jackson from Live Life Fully Coaching. So if this is your first time on our page, we have been hosting our COVID-19 series in wake of everything that's going on for over 2 weeks now. Generally, our topics are education or skill set driven so that you can learn how to do business differently. Our topics in the past have been things like virtual meetings, e-commerce for your business, all the way to selecting certain platforms if you're a restaurant and want to do online ordering. They are guided by our survey results. They're guided by feedback that we hear and things that we come across. So if there's a topic that you would like to glean information or get more information about, let us know, and we'll see if we can figure an expert in the industry to share about that. I do want to highlight and emphasize that we have a COVID-19 mastermind group where our business community is supporting one another. So a question is shared every week for you to comment on, and throughout the days of the week, you can post anything that you are facing in your business. If it's a challenge, if it's an issue, so you can have other people provide you solutions, ideas share, and really support you in this time of need. So if this is your first time on our video series, go to the video tab and binge watch all of them back into March. Make sure that you like our page, that you follow us, and also follow us on other platforms at Westy Chamber on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. Now, without further ado, I'll turn this over to Cheryl to begin sharing with us her wisdom, her experience, and all things about vision boards.
Hi, Julia. Thank you so much, and welcome to all those who are joining us today. And I just want to thank you, Juliette, for what you're doing for the City of Westminster as a chamber executive, and how you have just really thought about how to, help the businesses in this time. These are unprecedented times that call for unprecedented things, and I just love it that you asked me to talk about vision boards, because honestly, I've always made vision boards for my life, but I haven't really thought about making a vision board for business. And so this challenged me to start really thinking about it. I set goals as a coach, and I help my business clients set goals, but vision always drives goals. So if we know what our vision is, then we know what goals we want to set around it. But, so today what I'm going to talk a lot about is why have a vision board, but also getting clarity around what would go on a vision board for you. Because everybody's vision is different, right? And we want to know what our personal vision is. And then right at the end, I'll give you 5 really quick steps for how you can make your vision board. You can see behind me is the one that I made. I got challenged to do this. By doing this, I have done a lot of workshops on vision boards, but they've not been business focused. So this was really fun for me to think in terms of business. So I'm going to kind of use this as my structure for what we're going to talk about today. Let's see, backwards here. Perspective is the gift of desperation, and we'll talk a little bit about that.
I love that, Cheryl. And I had no idea that you hadn't done it specifically for your business, but Cheryl has been such a valuable resource to our chamber as she coaches. She shares various information that can really help propel you to business success. I want to thank Emilio for kind of hopping on and really reemphasize the reason why we're looking at vision boards. And you've often heard them around the first of the year, whenever people are resituating, what do I want? What are my goals? Well, because of everything that's happened, we're all kind of in a rut, and we're like, are we actually going to hit our goals? I'm not meeting any of what I expected or set. So this is kind of a moment to reset and to get that input and perspective from Cheryl.
Yeah. So what I want to do is talk about this time, the COVID-19 has really created a paradigm shift. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about how to recalibrate your business, and then also finally how to remap so that you have the business that you want. And you can see at the bottom is really my image for my business is this. I want to be that beauty in the midst of whatever's going on around. And I love helping businesses to really be successful. And so that means I need to learn how to be successful myself. So I get to coach people with that. So that's a little bit of an overview of what we'll do today. And so I'll move right into it because I know our time is limited. And I can talk for a long time about things like this. I'm passionate about it, okay? So one of the things that I realized about vision is that what we see is what we want. That's why we want to know what our vision is, because if we just see random things and we go towards that, it might not be what we really want. For example, Friday, somebody had crumble cookies delivered to me, and all day long, all I wanted was crumble cookies because that's what I could see. So, if we interpret that into our business, create the things that we want and create visual ways to see it so that that's what we'll do. That's what our brains love. Our brains love to go after what we see. So let's create and design what we want to see and what we want, okay? So, I did some checking online, and, this is why I chose this vision, because of 1920 was the end of World War I. It was also the beginning of the Spanish flu. And in those two things alone, 70 million people died. And that kind of puts perspective for us on what we're going through today, and how I think that what went on then is helping us to not have those kind of death toll numbers today. So what we can do is know that the story of the coronavirus, whatever happens after this, will be also told. So how do we want to view this situation? We know that lives will be affected, but probably the bigger thing that's going to be affected is our economy, right? Because we are interconnected as people so much more than they were in 1920 or 1918 when the Spanish flu came. Our economics, the world economics is very interdependent. So what makes us important? We are one business in the economy of the world, but we have learned through a few other things that have happened in the past few years that one can make a difference. So by focusing on your business and making your business successful, you can make a difference in the bigger overall economy of the world, and so that we bounce back from this better than we were before. One question that I really pondered as I was putting this together was, how am I supposed to navigate the unknown? I think that's a question we're all asking as business owners. We don't know what's ahead. Now, at the beginning of the year, when we set our goals and we think about the vision for our business, we still don't have a crystal ball to know what's coming, right? So we never really know what we don't know. But what we can know is what we want, right? And so we can begin to condition our minds and our brains and the actions that we put into our business to get what we want, right? By visualizing that. So that's where our vision comes into our businesses. We set our goals, but our goals should be set out of what we want, out of vision. So think about vision as what I want my future to look like. Vision is looking, it's perception, it's words around what we see. So think about the vision. What do you want your business to look like? The only thing we really can control is ourselves, right? And how we choose to perceive our circumstances. Those are the things that drive vision. What does that mean? How do I keep my business open right now is the big question people are asking. And so the paradigm shift is what I am looking at for my vision in my business, and I want to share and encourage you in. So think about paradigm shifts. We have to change our basic assumptions, our ways of thinking, our methods have to change in order to adapt, right? And then when we adapt, we can recalibrate. How many of us have driven down the road and put Google Maps on and told it where we wanted to go, but then somewhere along the way, we changed the direction because we didn't like it, what we were seeing, or we thought we knew a better way, or maybe there was obstruction in the road. And what do we hear it say? Recalculating. We need to do that in our business, recalculate or recalibrate our businesses to match the new paradigms that we're in today. And the thing about small businesses and even large businesses as well, we've seen a lot of that happening. The example that comes to my mind is not Salty Dog, Lazy Dog, just over in the Orchard. They've done a great job. They haven't stopped their food deliveries. They've just taken them and done something different. They've created boxes where we can go pick them up for $40 or $50 and come home with a whole box of groceries. They've even added 3 rolls of toilet paper in each box so that, they're meeting more need than just food. Ralph Lauren has stopped making the clothing designs and started making masks. Denver Mattress has taken the materials that they make mattresses out of, and now they're making masks because masks are what's needed. Car manufacturers are retooling to make respirators. One of the ones close to my heart that we won't probably hear in the national news is Medtronics. My future son-in-law, his father works for them, and they open source their blueprints for making respirators free on the internet. And the first day they did it, they had 6,000 downloads. So, they're building goodwill. That's what we can do as businesses, is build goodwill so that when this is over, and it will be over soon, then we can really have, goodwill is something we can never buy. It's only something we can earn. So what can we earn in the sense of goodwill during this time? When we join together for the greater good, we recalibrate what we want for outcomes, and we put people over profits. That's when we can build goodwill, and that will take our businesses into the future. Then we can remap. So that's the third step, is remapping. Make new things possible. When we can empathize and build strong relationships with our current customers, that is even going to build new customers for us. We've seen it over and over in the news. We can relate to people more. We can determine what they need or anticipate their needs, and then remap our businesses to meet those needs. One of the ones that I've been seeing recently that I love is 2 guys here in Denver who owned a restaurant, had to shut their restaurant down. And what they needed was a way to sanitize their business. And they tried to find somebody to do it. And the cost was prohibitive. It was in the thousands of dollars. So they went online, found all the equipment to do it themselves, found the chemicals local here in Denver, and started, creating a new business to sanitize restaurants so that people could feel safe in them. And once this is over, we'll be able to do that. Those are a few ideas.
So I love that and I don't mean to cut you off, you're on a great roll, and this is so terrific. We've got some great comments. First, I want to recognize, thank you so much. I know we've got a lot of folks on here. Counselor Seymour and Smith are also on here as well. Brian Had, Dice, and a few of our other members, Ann Hogan and Wayne. It looks like you can add to your list, Cheryl. Xerox is now making ventilators as well, which is fascinating because you know them as that printer, paper company, etc. We also have a kudos, so thank you for doing this. I know a lot of people love listening to you. That was Brian, but we have Tara. Thank you, Tara, for your comment. She's excited to hear you visit a lot more about vision boards. And then lastly, I love what Kim said. So Kim says, this idea of really building goodwill in our community through your business, through something that you already have, but thinking differently and thinking creatively.
Thanks, guys. And I want to know questions as well. So if you have questions, throw those at me as well. I love taking questions. So I'm just going to kind of skip over to one other thing that I think that really helps us as businesses. How can we partner with other businesses? I mentioned Crumble Cookies came on Friday. Well, what I realized is, Crumble Cookies isn't a delivery service, but they partnered with a delivery service, DoorDash. And so 2 businesses now are doing great because they work together. So being creative in how we can remap our businesses to work together with other businesses. And the chamber is a great place to learn and to find out what businesses are out there that we can partner with. And, so we've seen it. I've got a counselor who is business owner, and she's learning how to do telehealth now, because telehealth has all the regulations have stopped. So it's also looking for the opportunities that come. I think there's a gift in desperation. When we get desperate, we get creative, we get inventive. I think innovation has just soared in the last month. I mean, as an entrepreneur myself, and a business owner, and a coach to businesses, I have just been thrilled to see the innovations that have happened. So be innovative, be creative. And if you don't feel like you're the creative type, maybe you're more, you think on a straight plane or whatever, then collaborate with other people who are creative. I love in my business to collaborate with really relational people, because I'm more a strategic thinker, in my business. And that's how and I'm an influencer. That's how I bring myself to my business. But I have friends and clients who are really relational. So I love to partner with them and get their ideas about things, because they think differently from me. And that makes us all better together, right? I think that's how we're going to get through the coronavirus, the COVID-19 thing that's going on right now, is by working together, partnering together, and not working against one another, but working together. So I promised you that I would give you 5 easy steps for how to make your own vision board. So I will fulfill my promise by saying that.
I love steps, Cheryl. I love the quick points, digestible, and we can. Yeah. We have a couple other comments real quick before we transition into some of your steps. We have Counselor Seymour. He's thanking us for this video. Thank you, Counselor Seymour, for tuning into a lot of our video series. And you yourself are going out there and are dining local. Lunch to Go with Counselor Seymour is going on. So check out his vlogs. And then it also looks like we have Sarah. She is sharing that you are likely going to have great information. She's happy to be listening to you, as we all are. Nick Clementine and Kaylee Kimsel and several others have been tuning in to this video. So perfect timing for those that have just hopped on. We're about to touch on a few steps that Cheryl's going to share with us about vision boards. But really, she touched initially on your thought, getting yourself in the mindset, and figuring out what your ultimate goal is from the board.
Yeah. What you want to see different is as a result of your vision board. Yeah. So the first step you want to do is compile your supplies. And really, it's simple. I mean, this is just a half of a foam board. I happen to have some tape that, for wrapping presents that was colored. So I outlined it with tape. That's all I did. It was a colored foam board that I bought at Staples. And you can buy those. This is actually half of a board. So that's the first thing you want to do is supplies, poster board. You want magazines. I like to go on Google and search words, because I'm a word nerd. And so I searched words yesterday on Google Images. They're all free, or most of them are. And then I printed them out, because I'm more strategic. I like things, just so. I don't like random stuff. So that's what I did with my board. You need glue, scissors, and some music to work to. That's always inspiring to have some music, in the background going on to kind of get you in the mood, a creative mood. Then the second step is to take your images and sort them and arrange them the way you want. That's what I did here. At the top is I wanted perspective. My new perspective is to focus on the gift of desperation. It's good to be desperate in a positive way, not in a negative way. And then the 3 steps to doing it. And then at the bottom, like I said, is my picture that I want to focus on my business being like a flower in the desert. Then you want to paste those things on and write or put words. I don't like my own writing, so that's why I did this. But put words in there that really resonate with you. Recalibrate, remap, paradigm shift, and then add you to the center of the board. All right, because you are the center. You're the one that makes this happen. And so I like to put my business card and then my little sticker over here because the image for the branding for my business is the oak tree, because an oak tree starts from a little tiny oak and becomes this great big beautiful tree that lasts and makes an impact for generations. So that's important to me to always see that, when I'm looking at things. And then you want to display it. Put it where you can see it often, in your office or wherever you can see it regularly, because vision is, we want what we see. So put it in front of you and look at it often. So those are the 5 easy steps.
Yeah, I love those. And I like that you've woven in your brand. So you shared with us that oak tree and the story behind it and why you chose it. And then you got crafty. So I thought that you purchased that board with that black that's all around it. But people can understand that it doesn't need to even be that black. They can have one of those big Post-it notes and create a board on. They can do it off of cardboard, whatever you have lying around that's basically big enough that you can capture your thoughts on it and have it just be those thoughts on that one sheet. And I'm like you, my handwriting, I should have been a doctor. Never happened, wound up into what I'm doing today. But you can use those words and really customize it. The other neat thing that I love about this, you shared hang it up anywhere. Well, we're mostly all working from home, so you can hang it up anywhere in the home. But why not make it an exercise that's with your family as well? Because if you have kids, they can also be planning, what would they like moving forward into their school year. You could do it with your spouse, or if it's just you and like myself, my 3.5-pound Chihuahua, it'll have his face on there, I'm sure. It looks like Kaylee had a comment for us. She's never added a photo of herself to the vision board, and she loves it. So what inspired you, Cheryl, to kind of think, and I know you are very humble, so it's not like I want to see myself on this every day, all day. But what kind of guides you to select some of those images, including your own, to place on that board?
Well, because I see myself. When our vision, we're the one that makes our vision happen, right? I mean, nobody else can make our vision real. So when I see myself in the middle of my vision board, it's not about looking at me or my picture or whatever. It's about knowing that I'm the one that can make the difference in my vision board and what I want to accomplish through my business. I look at my business as the way that I fulfill my purpose in life. I get to help people be their best, to find out what their best is. Oftentimes we don't even know what our potential is. So I get to help people see their potential. And so we're the number one source of energy in our business is the business owner. So we should be in the middle of it, not so we can look at ourselves, but so that we can know that we're the one. Remind yourself, you're the one that can make the difference. You're the energy.
And it's possible to create this vision board without really knowing where you're heading, right? So right now, everybody is feeling like it's so unknown. And you shared with me the other day, whenever we were kind of honing in this topic, and you're like, well, that's not any different from at the start of the year and where we are today. Isn't that right?
It's true. You have a crystal ball. Or you have a direct connection to the one who's, over the universe. You really don't know what tomorrow holds. We only know what today holds. So what vision is based on what I know today. How can I change my perspective? How can I look at things differently? Juliet, you're one of my favorite people to brainstorm ideas with. You're one of the great idea people that I know. And so, I also got on a call yesterday with another idea person in my life. I like to connect with idea people and get, bouncing ideas off of other people is a great way to start to hone in on what your own vision is for yourself, or for me in this case. People that know you well they can put words to the things that they know about you that you might not think about. So it's really great to collaborate with other people.
Well, thank you, Cheryl. You know, I share that sentiment about you. I enjoy visiting, and we get on a call and we're just already brainstorming on what to do the next 5 times. So it looks like we have a couple other folks that are on here. Counselor Bowles, thank you so much for tuning in, and Jason Gank from our City Parks and Rec. I know they're actively busy and engaged to support during this time of need. There are a couple other comments that I wanted to make, Cheryl, and I hope you can add and enhance with your creative thought and your expertise. And I'm sure you've heard of the concept of vision journals. So if there's somebody that doesn't necessarily want to cut and glue, or you don't have magazines laying around for whatever reason, there are other ways that you can still do a vision board.
There is. Glad to, because actually, I'm a very visual person. So what I see is what I remember, and it's it kind of defines my direction. So oftentimes I'll just write things, things that I'm thinking about. I get them out of my mind and on paper. That's vision, right? Is what we see. We see what we write. When I'm working with a client, I take copious notes, because what I write or what I type is what I see. I remember all of that. If I just hear, I don't always remember everything as well. I don't remember details as well. Mm-hmm. So visual journals are a fantastic way. You don't have to make a creative board, as long as you are seen. I think we need to recognize that our brain needs to see where we want to go. And when our brain can see it, however you choose for that to happen, that's where you'll naturally want to go. And that's why we don't need a crystal ball to decide what we want for our vision, for our future. Mm-hmm. I read a book a couple years ago. Oh gosh, I shouldn't reference it because now I'm not going to. I'll put it in the notes on the Facebook page afterwards. But it was fantastic. It's about we need a target to shoot at. And this was done on scientific and medical research, that when we have a target, something we can visualize, we'll hone in on it. It might take us years to get there, but we will eventually get there. And, when I read that book, I realized how true it is that when I visualized some things years ago, didn't even know that's what I was doing. Mm-hmm. I closed my eyes and saw something, and that's what I wanted. And it happened about 15 years later. So when I read the book I realized that. So it is powerful to just envision what you want.
That's amazing. That's wonderful. So it looks like we've got a couple more comments, and then I have another thought that I want you to kind of share your thoughts on. We have Peter Brissett, who's reiterating, he loves vision boards. So it sounds like Peter's done his as well, although I wouldn't want to see his photo. Yours looks better. And then it looks like we have Counselor Bowles. Thank you, who's thanking you, Cheryl, for taking the time to be on here with us today. And then Brian's comment is really nice. So Brian Dice touched on, I love that we're having this positive conversation, that we're doing something that looks at hopeful tomorrow at a vision. It'd be interesting to see how the priority of the vision boards have changed in the past 30 days. So if someone has done a vision board before and compare and contrast it to the one that they currently have right now, that's pretty neat. So the other comment that I wanted to throw out there was when you're creating a vision board, or if you like to get the hands-on and crafts and you're going to make this into an activity more than just putting your thoughts, you can think of themes, correct, for your board?
Yes. Now that brings up a really good point. There's 3 types. I mean, I'm sure there's more, but there's 3 that I've kind of thought about. And one is knowing exactly what I want. That's what we put on our board. That can be a type. Opening up and allowing new things in can be a type of vision board. I want to be more open and allow new things in, and I don't even know what those are, but I just want to create a vision of being more open and allowing things in. And then a theme. That's what I did. I did a theme board. You can do it around a holiday, around family, around, a topic or your business, or, what you want. I mean, you can make your theme whatever it is you're interested in. So that's a good point, Juliet.
Yeah. Well, that is so exciting. Again, I have thoroughly enjoyed these videos. Always go by super fast, but today went even quicker than the others just because of the dialogue that we're having. And I feel like we could be on here for a long period of time. But before I let you go, I want to thank you for being on this video with us, and also share with everyone that Cheryl is doing a how-to vision board event that's coming up. We'll link the information about that event and the registration. I think she has it at $15, super cheap and nominal, but she wants to walk you through creating a vision board. So if this is your first time to even hear of the concept, or if you've done it before and found yourself struggling and don't really have the guidance or support, this is what Cheryl does and knows how to do. So sign up for that. I know Cheryl plans to donate 100% of that class, which I think is just so touching. We launched yesterday our Westview Wisdom program to support a lot of our seniors initially with positive messaging, and then spreading that across our city. That's a newer effort. Stay tuned for the details on it. But Cheryl is dedicating the funds toward that. Very nominal cost if you're interested in actually the how to get your family involved, get on the call, on the webinar, and get to make him that vision, so you can get out of this with a new head, new set of goals, and a vision for what tomorrow is going to look like. But thank you so much, Cheryl. I enjoyed it. I know several people have that were on this call with us, and I look forward to getting to see you in person and hopefully getting you more plugged in with other ways that you can share your expertise in different settings.
Thank you, Juliet. I appreciate it. And I just really hope that this is a huge fundraiser for the group that you're launching. You know, as a business person, I love helping people launch business. So if we can launch this for the chamber, that would just warm my heart to know that we got to do that, and then got to learn how to make a vision board in it as well. So I hope we'll do that and know that it's a think of it as a fundraiser.
I love it. I love that. Thank you again. You have a terrific afternoon. We've only got about half an hour until the afternoon. Time's flying by. Please be sure, if you're watching this and you're interested, tomorrow's webinar features Mike Lazar. Mike is our general counsel for the Westminster Chamber. He is an attorney down in Denver, although he's probably up here working now. He's with Feldman, Nagel, and Contafio, and he plans on visiting with us through his lens, so through his legal lens, about the EIDL and the PPP programs, which were both the federal relief packages that were passed. Here at 11 a.m. on our Facebook page. Make sure you tune in tomorrow to hear from Mike Lazar. Thank you, and I hope you have a terrific day. Stay healthy, happy, and high-spirited. Bye.
Thank you.